Hello and welcome back to Tommy's Top Picks Weekly Roundup podcast, episode 145. I'm your host, Tommy, joined by John.
How's it going?
You're back. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. It has been a minute.
Been a minute, which is actually, I'm really looking forward to this podcast because it means we have a crap ton to talk about. And since John was away, we didn't talk about it. So I don't even know John's opinion on things, and I have things that vice versa. So
yeah, it'll be good.
It's going to be fun. We're going to be talking about a TCG player bug. We're going to be talking about the new Fab set that got announced, the Hunted. A bunch of stuff with Magic, combat changes, foundations, what Standard's going to look like, 12 commanders, and Marvel Secret Lair. We talked about that on the last podcast with Murphy, but John doesn't know my opinions on it. So talk about that.
I missed it.
And then we're going to talk about some Pokemon with the new TCG Pocket that came out that's been eating up some of my time. And Surging Sparks is a new trend for Pokemon and a pre-release, and it's weird and different, so we can talk about it. And then Star Wars. I'm going to pre-release for Star Wars Unlimited this week on Thursday. And then for pre-release, and then we're going to talk about some box prices and what I think about it, because prices are dropping. So what am I going to do for set 3? What I've been talking about. If you've been listening to the podcast, you probably already know, but I'm going to talk about it again there. But yeah, let's get into it. TCG player bug. What happened? I missed this.
There was a bug, and it was, I guess, only for some people, but it was big enough that they put a banner at the top of the website, right? And it says, we are aware that some visitors may be experiencing blank pages. Well, that happened to me, and it was super inconvenient because it was while I was trying to fill out the orders when I got back, which wasn't crazy because I turned it off for most of my trip, right?
Okay.
Because I knew I wasn't going to leave people hanging for 2 weeks. That's crazy. So I turned it off, and I did have a few though because I turned it on before I got back. And when I went to process them, it wouldn't let you click on the inventory item so you could see what the specifics were about it. It would just blank out. You had to go into incognito mode. It's just a problem with one of the cookies, and I think this is part of Google's cookie list future thing that they're doing. It's happening. It's coming. Yeah. They've been talking about it for like 3 years. So if you're not ready yet, you're not paying attention. They clearly were ready because the bug was fixed within I would say 48 hours of me noticing it.
That's not bad.
I don't know how long it was actually there, but
I could see that being detrimental for like actual physical brick and mortar stores.
Yes.
Trying to do
anyone who's processing hundreds of thousands like that messed their day up. I would assume they might have workaround systems, but yeah, that clearly they heard enough about it that they put a banner at the top of the page. We'll put it that way, right? Yeah. It had an impact. What was the impact? Well, we don't know, but it definitely was kind of a headache for me. And I'm sure it was affecting just users too, because it's something about the way Google's blocking ads essentially, or detrimenting cookies or whatever, so a good chunk of people had this affect them. Anyways, that's all. I thought it was interesting. Technology always changing.
Yeah. I don't know. That's interesting. Didn't affect me. I didn't even notice.
Yeah, I told you about it, and you're like, it doesn't.
It was fine for me. Yeah. So, but then you said it was on the back end. I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But next up, we got our new Flesh and Blood set, the Hunted. And we know we got a ninja and we got a warrior, and we're doing Draconic again.
Yep. Is there a third class?
Not that I see. Oh, I think they hinted at there was a promo card that is Assassin.
Oh no, yeah, Assassin. Actually, I think was
in
one of the things. Yeah. I did see like art for what looks like a wizard card, but if they're following the same format they've used for the last few sets, there'll be one of every class in there. Mm-hmm. So that's probably just for that to add to not Draconic, but to add to Wizard. What did you think? Warriors are back.
Yeah,
but I assume Draconic.
Yes, it'll probably be a mix of Warrior and Draconic cards. I have most of them still, so I should be good to build anything if it piques my interest. We'll see. I was not interested in Rosetta, so that didn't get me back in Warrior's in a tough place right now, so I don't know, don't see the point in really pushing Fab right now in my life. But when Warrior's back, I'll be back. So I am following this. It's not completely off my radar. I am keeping
it's not top of the list, but it's definitely in the pay attention zone.
Yes, more so than previously, for sure.
I like the
because this. I would assume what I know about Draconic from previous side. Yeah, it's gonna be fast, right? So uprising. So we have like a fast. If we get a fast warrior, like a multi-attack warrior, I'm in. Whether it's good or not, I'll probably be in. But if it's, I don't know, if it's just a mediocre hero, has no effect on the meta, then I'm still on the sidelines. But it is exciting. We don't have many talented warriors. The only one is Bolton, I believe. Right?
I think you're right. Yeah.
So it is an interesting point because I tried Bolton. I just don't really like his gameplay. I respect it and I understand it. It's just not for me. So having another talent, because all the warriors I've been playing are just non-talented.
They have no talents. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So, they're on the struggle bus. They're on the struggle bus, and if it becomes relevant, I will probably build it at least.
Yeah. What if it's the axe? You know that axe that they have? You remember the specialty axe from it was the Marvel one, right?
Yeah, I still have Uprising? It. Yeah.
I think that's right, right?
Mm-hmm. No, it wasn't from Uprising. It was from
the one after
Dynasty.
Dynasty, that's right. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. How do you feel about it?
I have no strong feelings. I thought the preview was pretty cool though. Like it did give me a little, like, not a nostalgia kick, but whatever the pre version of nostalgia is, like the micro nostalgia kick. Yeah. Because I was like, oh yeah, I remember those guys when they came out. I was like, oh, that's interesting. This is a different, group of the same world doing continuing the same story, right? Because it's
I'd assume so.
Arachne escaping, right? Is the idea? Is it Arachne, right?
Sure.
The masked guy that did the Emperor kill.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Yeah. And he's hunted. That's the story, right? So it's like, oh, okay, cool. I actually get this one.
Yeah.
I was like into it. It was neat, but yeah, man. If you get into it, let me know.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. If you need a dummy to punch on for a little bit, I can be that dummy.
Fair. But something that got a whole lot of changes was Magic. We got base fundamental combat changes.
Yeah, I was surprised about this.
Interesting. Coming with foundations.
Yeah. I don't think it's a big deal, but it's a deal. It matters,
it's a deal.
Right?
I mean, it affects every format, right?
It does, yeah. So when you double block now, instead of the priority window existing the way it currently does, which is they basically consolidated it down to 2 steps instead of potentially 4. Is that correct? Something like that, or potentially infinite, right? Because there's a back and forth priority at the one phase. But essentially, how's it go exactly? You don't declare blockers until the final step, essentially, right? Is that the correct way of putting it?
You declare where the damage is going.
Well, yeah, but it's essentially how it was before you declared the blockers. Oh no, yeah, and then the attacker declared who took the damage in what order. Now they take it so that is a last step instead of another step.
There's no window between. There's no window between. Like you have your window to play buff cards to pump your cards,
but it's before you.
But it's before you know where the damage is going.
Yeah. And it's even split now, right?
You choose what damage goes where.
Oh, I thought there was something about even split in there. Anyways,
no,
they're changing the combat rules. It's
basically like there's 2 pools, 2 buckets. Say you attack for 6 and you're being blocked by 2, then you can put 3 in each bucket, or you can put 2 and 4, or 1 and.
You can do it any way you want. Yeah. It doesn't matter, and there's no reaction to that decision, right?
Correct.
That's the key.
But you have a window to play between
declaring and deciding on where the damage goes. Yeah. So you can still pump. It's just you can't pump in reaction and basically say no on a combat situation, which is probably good. It means combat will kill more things.
Yes, which I think is
that's good. What it boils down to. Yeah,
I think it's a good change overall.
From a commander perspective, when you think about how many tokens are generated these days, it's a fantastic perspective. Like, it's very good. It clears the board. It's a speed up the game situation, not so much dirtily board states. If people are active on things, that is the question mark. I did play.
How does First Strike work then? Does it affect both? Because it affects both, right?
Yeah, I think it does affect both. I'm trying to remember how it worked before, honestly. Yeah. How did First Strike work with two? Yeah, it would affect both. Yeah, I think it affects both. I would assume. It's a good question, though. It's worth looking up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to speed up formats. Combat will matter more. It's more aggro.
Faster games.
Yeah, aggro friendly, I will say. Yeah. Might actually bring red back into
Commander.
Or aggro, actually. There's been a few aggro decks that actually have made it to the commander list. And people are like, aggro's kind of back. It's not back, but it's kind of back. This will probably change it and make it more back.
Yeah.
So, pretty interesting. Anyways, so that's it. That was pretty intriguing that they're changing something so fundamental. But they said they tested it for a year and essentially it made no difference.
Huh.
Or rather, the difference was that it made it faster, but it wasn't like detrimental in any way. So they're like, it's fine.
Cool.
Foundations. You have opinions on standard?
Well, it wasn't directly tied to Foundations, but I mean, we've talked about it. It's coming. It's going to be here for, they said, at least 5 years, and there's a lot of cards in it that'll just be in standard for 5 years. But we also have the largest, with extending standard to 3 years back, there's going to be more cards in standard than before. There's going to be more sets included in standard because it was 2 years. And so then you'll have 3 years plus this foundation set.
And what do you think that means for draft, etc.?
Well, for draft and limited, it means nothing because that's set to set. But when it comes to standard as a format, I think it can create great entry windows, but then down times of very hard entry. And when a person decides to get into Magic, they decide to get into Magic. It's not like they're going to be like, oh, well, this is a bad time to get into Magic because XYZ. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I guess you'll always have that moving forward to a degree with everything, with just the past year moving out. So it'll only be 2 or 3 sets, or no. Because they keep changing how many sets are coming out with a year. But which is
no, because the Universe is Beyond. They're standard present, like they're standard legal now, right?
Only moving forward.
So this upcoming set, you're going to have Foundation plus like
Spider-Man and Final Fantasy.
Is that the first 2 on the calendar?
Yeah, and then there's a third unannounced.
Okay, but that's not including SpongeBob?
I think that's just going to be a secret layer.
I believe they're doing SpongeBob.
If they do a SpongeBob draft set, John, I may buy a couple boxes.
You know, I would allow it if it was under the Unfinity title. Right? Unfinity SpongeBob.
Unfinity SpongeBob seems correct.
I would be 100% supportive of that. I don't even like SpongeBob. I know nothing about SpongeBob. It's not my time or day. I know lots of people do and love it, and that's fantastic. And the jokes are cute and funny, and I laugh. But I have no connection to it. But Unfinity SpongeBob, that's the way. If they do a little draft product or whatever, a sealed, I don't even know.
I think it's just going to be a secret layer.
No, I agree. It seems like. But it would be funny.
If they have collector boxes, SpongeBob collector boxes.
That's what the secret product is Infinity SpongeBob. Anyways.
Oh, dear Lord. Heard it here first. Called it.
Yeah, right.
But I am very much looking forward to. So we haven't talked about it since, but the Marvel Secret Lair. How do you feel about it just being a secret lair? And the first set not being a Marvel set, but being an amazing Spider-Man set.
I am okay with all those things. Yeah. I like the secret layers, generally speaking. I think the art's awesome. Like, yes. Please, yes, more of that. Like, yes, please, more of that. Like, do magic characters in that style. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that. I like the style. I like the art. So totally in it for that alone. I would probably buy them, even if the cards were like garbage. But the cards are not garbage.
I plan on picking them up.
Yeah, I'm picking up. I'm battling myself right now, and we'll decide in a few days because it's coming out in a few days.
November 4th.
Yeah, I have an alarm in my phone already to buy it. I think at minimum I'm buying 2 Storm. I don't know what else. That's where I'm at. Because I want one, and then I want one just to put on the shelf. I have a bunch of secret layer on the shelf. Well, that's not fair. I have a few secret layers that I've liked. I bought 2 and put one on the shelf because they're small. They fit. Yeah. If they go up, great. If they don't, I don't care. Like, it's fine. Yeah. But other ones, I don't know. Wolverine, maybe. I'm not a Gruul player, but that got me interested.
That was the one that appealed to me.
Yeah. Captain is cool from a concept standpoint, but I feel like not good. I don't know.
I feel like that's
maybe a ninja out there knows how to make it good, but for my first like mental run at it, I'm like, it's slow. Like, there's a lot you have to do to make it all go. But there's probably artifact cheat things that I just am not aware of that make it work well. Anyways, I don't know. That's my thoughts. What about you? Wolverine all the way?
Yeah. I mean, Wolverine's pretty good. Storm's pretty good too. I mean, I'm not denying that, but
Storm's busted.
Yeah.
But it's Storm and Storm.
Yeah.
How do you not Storm with Storm?
Right. Exactly.
I feel like it's just worth it to be able to say that in a game.
Yeah. No, this is hitting my comic book collector vibe, and they did it so right so at New York Comic Con, there were even special variant comic books where the cover was the Magic card.
That I didn't know. That's awesome.
Yeah, so you can get comic books with the card. Storm is one of them. So you can get a comic book with the Storm Magic card. And it came with a promo counterspell that has Doctor Strange on it.
Doctor Strange? What?
Doctor Strange counterspell.
I hate you, Marvel!
Doctor Strange counterspell, John.
Why do they know me?
Yep.
Damn it. Yeah, that's pretty tough. That's pretty tough to walk away from. Is that out there as well?
It's on eBay.
Is it stupid expensive?
Probably. No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
What is? Take a guess.
I have no idea. How many people was it? Comic-Con? Everyone got one hand giveaway or what?
If you went to the panel.
Panels are like 60 to 100 people probably, right? Yeah. So it's got to be like 200-300, right? No, less than that.
They're selling for a little under $100.
Holy shit, that's really great. For only 100? No, they have to have more copies than that. There had to be more than 100 copies. No?
I'd assume then, but that's what they're going for.
Interesting. Well, that's worth just buying right now while we chat.
One sold for $450.
Yeah.
But that included both variant covers and 2 copies. So
that's you had multiple products. Yeah.
So you had way more things. But still
cool.
Pretty cool.
All of them have the counterspell in it?
Yeah.
I don't know if I trust you because there's one for super cheap. Oh, never mind. That's just bidding. All right.
Yeah. Send me the link before you buy it. I'll confirm.
Yeah. 140. Yeah. All right.
If you go to previously sold, it's all under 100.
No, yeah, there's 99 buy it nows. Yeah. That's weird. Okay, cool. Well, I will probably buy that thing because that's worth it for me.
Yeah, I thought they were cool.
The problem is that I want to open it and play with that counterspell, but I also want to keep the value. So I have to get 2 at minimum, right? That's how you do these things.
Right, exactly. 1 for the shelf.
That's right. God damn it.
You look at the price of something, now double it.
Yeah, double it. Yeah. The other thing on Foundation we jumped over real quick, just to bounce back.
There's a bunch of stuff
because Marvel stuff it's too fun. It's definitely my most hype about all the Magic
hits
stuff.
all of my marks, John. It's bad.
It hits all of my marks, and I'm not a comic person, but I'm like, I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's cool. What did I assume Murphy enjoyed the concept and
yeah. He said he's going to be keeping. He's told me to let him know as we get closer to the Amazing Spider-Man set.
Oh yeah, so let's talk about that for a second before we go back to Foundations. What do you think about Amazing Spider-Man set?
It's so good. It's so good. Because it tells you that there's more. It tells you how deep they're going with this.
That's fair.
That means next Marvel set, right, is an Avengers set. Maybe we get an X-Men set.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the comic book world is so deep, and as this
you can even get sets based on specific story elements.
Correct.
Right? Like you could just
story arcs.
Yeah, Infinity War,
War,
whatever. Like or the Civil War could be a set by itself, right? That actually would be a really easy one because then you have your Commander deck set with that.
Art's already done.
Done. Damn, that's actually probably what they're going to do over the next couple of years.
I mean, look at 2025. 50% of the sets are Universes Beyond.
Yeah, and they're in standard now.
Yeah.
So
that's when I messaged you. Like they're making, like we talked about it before. They're making a big push for standard to be a thing.
What are they doing with it though? Like how is it? I get it. I get the rotation changes and stuff. I'm just saying, like, how do you get people back in standard? Is this really going to do it?
It's new people. It's not going to be your modern players. It's not going to be. Maybe it is. Maybe this is enough to pull it in. Maybe
brings
if they
people back.
But I think it's bringing in new people, right? So like think about Lord of the Rings. It brought in a ton of people, but then they were like, "Oh yeah, jump into modern." Because all the cards you just got are from modern.
We're modern, yeah.
Where the new players should be going into standard. The more smaller card pool, which goes against what we were just talking about, how it's going to be the largest card pool, but it's going to largest card pool of standard. It's still not as large as modern or the other formats, but it's, you know what I mean? Like,
it's interesting. It's interesting.
So like you want them to be in standard, and then those new players, because I bet a lot of those new players are learning to play on Arena. And they can't play their Lord of the Rings cards in standard on Arena, and they probably noticed that mistake, and then they switched it. And so you're going to have Amazing Spider-Man on Arena, and just wait.
So question.
Yeah.
Doesn't it settle into a meta that's pretty static of 5 decks or so?
Not with power creep.
Well, I mean, between sets, right? Like after sets released, you have the, I don't know, month-long exploration period, and then it tightens down.
It's not even that anymore.
It's fast. I made that number up because I couldn't remember. I knew it was fast.
Yeah. It's like a week or two.
Okay, yeah, a week or two, and then it settled into what, like 5 decks?
3.
Okay. 3 is kind of the worst.
But
so what happened with Wolverine at that point? You know what I mean? Like in a standard tournament setup, does that actually draw people to hold?
But the larger card pool will allow for more decks.
That's fair.
Right?
Yeah.
So maybe that's why they're increasing the card pool.
I am curious. Maybe I have no idea how this will play out. I think it's interesting. I'm very curious to see what they do. It definitely doesn't get me back into standard. I'll say that, but
I'm enjoying it on Arena. It's fine.
Yeah, you play it already, so for you, this is probably like hype new way of playing it.
Oh yeah, no. When I can play my Spider-Man deck on Arena, that's all I'm playing, John. If it's bad or not, I'm playing that to get my quest done. It's fine. Yeah. But I mean, because it's just Amazing Spider-Man, right? So that means that allows you to go into all the
sets eventually of this.
You'll have all the different types of Spider-Man. You'll have the Miles Morales. You'll have the
that's 2099 easy one too.
And then you'll have all the Rogues Gallery. So you could have like a Spider-Man tribal, right? And then you have like across the universe, you have all the different Spider-Man.
Is tribal a thing in standard?
Yeah, it can be. It has been. There was a Human Warriors deck was it 2 sets ago in Outlaws or just before Outlaws?
Oh yeah, actually I remember White Weenie Clerics.
Yeah,
I remember.
It happens, but like when a set has enough strength, like if they're gonna make the Spider-Man cards good, right?
Oh, true. Yeah, you're right about that. I'm actually thinking like 4 or 5 of these sets down because of the long rotation. You have Amazing Spider-Man in, but you also have X-Men, but you also have Avengers, the first set.
Well, they won't. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can stretch it. Like, it might be a lot of these sets by the time rotation happens.
Oh, true. So, like, you're talking 2026, 2027 cards
that will be in standard. Like? What does standard look like? Is it really just
after 3 years of universe
the entire Marvel world is just taking over standard? Because the cards are powerful, obviously. I'm assuming
people are going to think Marvel came out with a card game.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm like.
But
what does this
it's
look
also
like
there's I don't think maybe it's one Marvel set a year.
I don't. This is the question mark about release schedule timing and how powerful are they all going to be, and standard and other set support for standard, because they could jack that up very easily by just a normal set coming out that has also ridiculous cards in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, they're going to make the Final Fantasy cards good too. I mean,
did energy ever become a thing in standard? I know it did in the other formats. It like busted them a little bit.
Modern for sure. During that time I was mainly drafting, and it was Modern Horizon, because a lot of the cards are the modern cards.
Yeah.
So they didn't go into standard.
That I was curious because I couldn't remember what sets they were in, but I knew that like
that release was Modern Horizon
warped formats, and I wasn't
standard was saved from that.
Got it. Curious. It will be fun. So anyways, back to Foundations. 12 commanders. Only 12 commanders in Foundations.
Good
God. What are they even doing?
Good.
There's 27 in Jumpstart 2025.
Of course there are.
Which basically matches the style or general take.
And they'll all have their Japanese anime version.
Yes. Yep, the art is anime all over the place.
I didn't even know that. I just assumed it.
You were totally right. In fact, they have whole feature pages of just all the anime art, and it's pretty cool looking. But
of course,
you knew it was coming.
They were like, "Oh, 2022 sold well. Let's do that again.
Let's do that times 5, because that's what we do. Whenever something works, we make it big."
Wait, so this is 2025? Jumpstart 2025. Okay.
Yeah.
When's that out? February?
I have no idea. I'm sure they probably gave a date or an area, but I did not put a calendar in front of me, and so I don't have the visual memory of it.
How much money do I set aside for Amazing Spider-Man collector boxes?
Up to you. How much do you love it?
I haven't even seen a card, and probably too much.
Well, then just 2 boxes.
Yeah.
That's what you should always do, is 2 boxes. One to open if you're desperate to open it, one to sell, and then
they are shelves.
And then you buy singles of the things you actually want.
Oh, for sure. Yes.
You don't need the boxes.
No, I know.
That's how I look at it, though.
That's going to be wild. That's going to be a wild time.
I am behind on buying collector boxes, I'll say.
But like, think about it though. People like Murphy, people that have no interest in Magic, but are around Magic a lot at the comic book store. They see Amazing Spider-Man as a collector box. These are collector people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's something. Final Fantasy will be the next big test. I won't say it's the only test, because we've had several tests and they've all gone well.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy will be...
Spider-Man's not a test.
No, Spider-Man is the full-on party, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's like that's what the test is leading to. Final Fantasy is a big IP worthy of all the tests before it, and Spider-Man is a bigger IP, I would think. I could be wrong on that, but that's my assumption, is that it's a bigger IP. Yeah. And it's leading into the whole mess of it, like,
yeah,
this is about to be a crazy, crazy time in Magic. Now, Magic World, generally, you don't care.
What?
The fact that it impinges upon the Magic World, that's the biggest complaint, right? Everyone's like, all this stuff in my Magic World.
Oh, no, I don't care.
You don't care? Okay.
I never cared.
I care a little bit.
You did.
I care a little bit.
As soon as they announced Universes Beyond, I never cared. I was excited about it. No, I know you did. I'm saying I did.
I'm just saying, but like people that play standard, people that play these rotating formats often care more than like Commander, because Commander is a mishmash of everything, right?
Right.
It's a mess. But the rotating formats have a more consistent flavor, right? And this is going to throw that off. So I was curious if you had a different take now. You're like, no, okay.
No, and honestly, so hear me out. The people that say, oh, standard's dead, no one plays standard, right? There's a ton of those people. Maybe they're right. Maybe no one plays it. So how do you get people to play standard? You bring in new people.
It's fair. So the on-ramp,
the on-ramp is standard, and then you have your Magic diehards, they play modern.
It's fair.
They already do.
It is how
it doesn't affect them at all. Yeah, like it's an on-ramp to get more players into modern eventually. Because you don't, like they saw with Lord of the Rings, it's hard. An on-ramp is hard to go from not playing Magic to modern.
Yeah.
That's a hard on-ramp. But you will have more people get to modern through standard. And you get new people playing standard who don't care about the stigma of no one plays standard. But people do, they just play it on Arena. So
that's true.
And either way, it's Magic and people are playing Magic, and I think more people will play because of this.
I agree with that 100%. I think everyone agrees with that.
And it's not like they're doing away with Magic, and everyone was complaining that too many sets were coming out anyway. So ignore the Universes Beyond, and now you have your dream world of less sets per year that you care about. Right? Does that make sense?
It does.
So it's kind of like a win-win. You get new players in,
and I'm not sure. Yeah. We'll have to see how this plays out, because there are a couple different possibilities.
Because then it is just point. There are less, quote, Magic sets each year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it could be, could be a win-win.
We shall see. It's going to be an interesting year for Magic, though, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm super excited to see how this year plays out, or 2025 plays out. It's going to be fun.
All right, Pokemon.
You hear about Surging Sparks?
Only that it exists. I know nothing.
It's pre-ordering for $150, John. It's almost up at MSRP. It's above the previous old MSRP, and it's on pre-order. Boxes usually come out on TCG Player pre-ordering like $100.
Oh, that's new. This is the first set with that, right?
Yep. This is the first set with the new trend.
And it's selling well.
It's selling like crazy.
Oh, shit. It is selling like crazy. Jeez.
And it's pushing the other boxes up, too. All of Scarlet and Violet's now in favor.
Well, I'm glad I bought some.
Me too.
We'll see if any of it's good and which ones I bought. I have to go do inventory.
Yeah, I would definitely take inventory on your Scarlet Violet boxes.
I don't care.
Twilight Masquerade's up, and Paldea are the two big ones.
Might be in a good place then.
Let's see. But yeah. And Temporal, I think. But a decent amount of them. Not the base set, not Obsidian, I don't think, but the other ones.
Yeah, base set I definitely have, but I don't know if it's I didn't expect that one to go crazy. It's a base set.
But I think this is just the beginning of something. I don't think this is a fluke. we just had the launch of Pokemon TCG Pocket. It is a new mobile app that is mainly a collector app, but has a game attached to it. Like, you can play the Pokemon game, but with new modern rules. You have a 20 card deck, and it is not balanced at all. But you have a 20 card deck. It is fun. You have a 20 card deck. You can have two copies of each card, and energy auto generates each turn. You don't have energy cards.
Very optimized for mechanics.
Yeah, so it's very like quick, fun, can play with one hand card game, which is very dangerous because I've been looking for something like that. So I've been playing a lot of this.
Oh no. This is why this topic's on the list. I see.
I have not spent $1 on it yet though, and I plan to play completely free.
Well, that's normal for you though. You're pretty good about that, aren't you?
Oh yeah. But this one seems like it could be just a money pit. But
you're like, I'm in danger.
No, I'm not. I'm not. People are, for sure. But what I think is just having this out and become popular is going to push people to buy physical cards again, even more. When there's already a lot of upward mobility. There was already upward pressure on Scarlet Violet boxes before this came out. And this coming out, I think, will only push that further. But it's a collector app first, but there is deck building. And
is the deck building based on the collection?
Yes, you have to have the cards.
Fuck, that's a good idea. That's going to be a mess. Yep. Okay, yep. Fair enough.
And in a couple, I forget when, but they are going to be bringing in trading to it as well. And you can create like binders and stuff. And there's different, like, you have a set, and it's not perfect, but it's definitely the best Pokemon.
They're on the way to something gross.
Yes. This. Yeah.
They put. I get it. I'm like, I'm not there yet, but I see the danger of what they're doing. You know.
This is an app where they put limitations on how much money you can spend on it. John. They were like, yes, you can buy this gold, children, but you can only not
put $10,000 on your parents' credit card. Yeah,
correct.
That's good. That's wise of them.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
But there's a bunch of like PvE stuff too, like challenges and stuff where you build a deck to do these specific things in a battle, and it's fun. It's neat. It's quick. The special art cards that you can get in the packs are beautiful. They're really cool. I don't know. It's fun. It's neat. I just think it's going to push the already bull market of Pokemon boxes further.
Because that happens. Absolutely every time. Like, always happens.
Yeah.
It's Pokemon, people.
It goes up.
I'm pretty sure we've never said otherwise the entire time we've had a podcast.
Nope. Surprise. Just your friendly reminder.
It's slow now, but it will go up.
Yes.
Someday. Yes. What happens with Pokemon.
Yes. Unlike Star Wars.
Indeed. So tell me your thoughts on this, because I am a little interested in where you landed.
I am a player.
It's fair.
That's it.
Okay.
I will buy cards to play with. I will buy singles for my deck. I will buy packs to draft with. I don't plan on opening boxes of this set.
At all?
At all.
Okay. Interesting. Why?
I just want to see. I'm willing to. It's one of those fool me once. Shame on me. I think there will be boxes cheaper down the road. The way set 2, like box 1 is still holding around like 150, but box 2 is down to like 70. Let me just double check here.
Gotcha. You're gonna...
And it's already pre-order. Like, the set 3 is already pre-ordering for 84. 72. Shadows of the Galaxy is at 72. So it's already back down to those like super low prices that they were.
Yeah.
Like you can get a case of Shadows of the Galaxy for $414.
Yeah, they print it to desire / too much, right? That's like the whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, box 1 is still sitting at 162 and it did have a reprint. But
that's box 1.
That's box
the most
1.
Powerful in its core set, right?
Right. Yeah.
In a case where it matters that it's a core set.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it has the most expensive showcases. But I just think I think I'm taking it. I enjoy and love the game. Don't get me wrong, but I think I'm gonna stick to my throw 2 boxes on the shelf for down the road, and then
ride with it.
Ride with it.
Have you heard from people otherwise, like other people interested in this set? Is the
yeah, no, hype for the hype for the set is pretty good. I just think that there's too much of it. That's just what it shows. The demand isn't quite as there.
Yeah. Well, that stinks.
But I mean, it's like from what I see, all of the local scene is still pretty active. So.
Well, keep it going.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited. And I mean, it is the Clone Wars set, so it is going to be fun. I'm going to a pre-release on Thursday. And so that should be fun. But I don't know. Recently, it's just with cards, it's just, I want to play limited, no matter what game it is. So I don't really see the need to like own a lot of cards, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Where it's just like, oh, what do you mean? I'll play with the cards that we open then. And cool. Fun. I don't know. It's different every time. I enjoy it that way. I've enjoyed cards more that way than regularly maintaining and keeping up with a metagame of it's constantly evolving, and I don't know. It just hasn't. That has not been. That has not interested me in a while. No matter what game, Magic, Flesh and Blood, Star Wars, when it comes to a constant revolving meta, I just enjoy a fresh slate each time, opposed to beating something into the ground, if that makes sense.
It does. I get that.
Been doing it so long. It's just,
I don't understand. You don't want to just spend a bunch of money every couple of weeks? I don't get it, Tommy. I don't. What's wrong with you?
I do. It's just to play a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bunch of money on cards you're not going to use.
Yeah, I'm never going to use again. So if I pull something fancy, I'll just sell it.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
So Tommy, what do I do here as far as buying these Storm #1s with the? Because that's where my real priority is.
Yeah. Are you buying the card or the issue? Are you buying?
I want the issue with the card, and I will also get the card.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
It's cool. I might.
I would get that graded.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I don't really care that much about grades.
I don't know. I wonder if people have graded it already. It's been a little bit. No way. No, it hasn't made it out yet.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have made it back. Well, I mean, because CGC is at the con, so they could have done it there.
It will hit eBay any day now.
Yeah. There is still the one available. You could get both.
Send me the link.
$450. But you get 2 copies.
Wait? I don't know why I would want to do that.
You get 2 copies of Counterspell. You can get the Wolverine comic and the Storm comic.
I don't want that.
I don't know. We're deviating.
Well, yeah.
That's all I had on Star Wars, though. I'm looking forward to playing, but not going to be doing a bunch of box opening this set. Which means I can probably just buy the showcase that I want to play. So, which makes sense. Because the thing is, like the prices of the singles and stuff, it just really doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So
that's how it goes.
It did for set 1. It did for set 2 when I did it, but
yeah,
this one just doesn't seem to make sense. So,
which is funny because it's Clone Wars. It should the most.
I think it's just timing. There's a lot going on. Pokemon's booming again. Like the card world is small.
Card world has changed. Money has moved in different directions.
Yeah. The big 2 will always be there.
Story of every, year or two.
Yeah. Magic's doing something weird. Pokemon's going up. The world keeps spinning.
That's right. And you'll wake up tomorrow and the sun will still be there.
Yes. And all the other card games will be like, yeah, we're here too. But yeah, I don't know. It's been an interesting time. I'm really looking forward to seeing next year is going to be wild.
It will be.
But cool. Well, anything else before we wrap this up?
I just got the Pokemon game.
You downloaded it?
I did. It took a lot of effort.
I'll send you my friend ID. We already have so many friends playing it, John.
Oh no.
There's a whole group of us. Oh yeah.
I'll give it a shot. I'll see.
Ooh, you get to open free packs every day.
That's fine. That's I'm like, yeah, you said it's a one-hander game. Like,
yeah.
What commitment am I really putting in here? It's fine.
At minimum, it's every day you click a notification and you get to open a pack. And that's it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'll give it a shot just to see what the hype is about, because the hype is here. It's real.
You do have to hit level 3 before you can start battling, though, which is a pain.
I don't care. We'll see if I even get there. I don't like. I figured I'd give it a shot.
Fair enough.
We'll see.
Fair enough. Cool. Well, until next week, we'll catch you guys later.
Have a good one.